That's it. Not even a goodnight kiss. Bosh. And you were never in her apartment? Orders. Nope. Bosh.
Genre:
Not even to her door?
historical fiction.
Orders.
Essential question:
Never.
how can
Bosh.
weather affect us?
What about after that night? You knew where she lived now. Did you ever come back?
The Big Storm
Orders.
by
No,
Kate
man, I'm
Sinclair.
telling you, I wasn't interested.
Illustrated by Tristan Mitchell.
Bosh.
Chapter 1.
Then we have a problem.
Trouble on the Horizon. Page 2.
Orders.
Chapter 2. The Storm Arrives. Page
Why do you think we
6.
approached you today, Preston?
Chapter 3.
Orders.
Making the Best of
I don't
Things.
know.
Page
Said
9.
you needed my help.
Respond to
I
reading.
thought maybe one of
Page
her friends told
16.
you Skylar and I had dated.
Paired read. The Oak and the Reeds.
Actually, it's
Page
because we
17.
found your fingerprints on the front
Focus
door.
on genre. Page
The
20.
problem is, you just told me you'd never been to the door.
Chapter
Orders.
1.
I don't understand.
Trouble on the
How'd
Horizon.
you get my fingerprints?
It's time to go, Henry, I
You
called.
know, that's sort of funny.
My brother
I
was
tell you to
always
get
slow in the
fingerprints.
mornings. I didn't want to argue with him about being late again. I'm just getting my marbles, Henry replied. I'm playing Billy at lunch. When we left home, I saw big black clouds in the sky. It looked like it was going to rain cats and dogs. It usually took 30 minutes to walk to school. Today, I wanted to get there quicker. But Henry was ambling along slowly, kicking at stones. Hurry up, I said. We have to get to school before it starts raining. Suddenly, the sky got even darker. Then in the distance, I saw a big tornado. Henry, look, I cried, pointing to the twister. It's coming this way. I was terrified. Henry grabbed my hand. Don't worry, Loretta, he said. We're still close to home. We can go back and tell Ma and Pa. Fat raindrops began to fall as we ran home. Then lightning flashed all around. The conditions were getting worse, and my heart was racing. We're just about there, Henry said. We ran up the front steps and burst through the door. There's a twister coming, Henry shouted. Ma and Pa were astonished. They hadn't been outside. Get into the cellar now, Ma cried. Chapter 2. The Storm Arrives. We rushed into the cellar, and Pa bolted the door. I didn't like it. I did not want to be stranded down there. I didn't like being trapped in that cold, underground place. Pa lit 4 candles. It wasn't dark anymore, but I was still unhappy. Cheer up, Henry said. Everything will be okay. But listen to the storm, I complained. The wind was screaming above us. Watch this, said Henry, and he put his hands in front of the candlelight. I saw the shadow of a dog on the wall. Then there was a goat, and then a rabbit. How did you do that? I asked. It's easy, said Henry. I'll show you how to do it. After a while, I noticed that the wind had stopped, and it was quiet. Thank goodness it's over, Ma said. Pa crept upstairs first. He wanted to see if the house had been harmed. You can come up, he called. I heard the relief in his voice. Chapter 3. Making the Best of Things. There is almost no damage, Pa said. I'll have to fix some shutters, but we've been very lucky. We should check on our neighbors, Ma said. We set off down the road toward town. Soon we saw buildings and cars that the twister had damaged. Ma, I cried. That car looks like a toy that someone picked up and threw down. That's what a twister does, Ma said. The wind is so strong that it can even pick up cars and trees. This is terrible, Pa said. Some buildings had no roofs. There were wrecked and ruined cars on the streets, and papers were scattered everywhere. People looked dazed and shocked. Then I saw the new girl from my class. She was with her mother and she was crying. "What's wrong, Bonnie?" I asked. "We can't find my brother," she said. "I heard that the weather forecast wasn't good, so I had to forbid him to go outside," Bonnie's ma said. "But he went out anyway." "We'll help you look for him," I said. Stop and check. Why were Bonnie and her mother upset? "How old is your brother?" I asked. "He's 10, Bonnie said. Just then Henry yelled, "Look!" We all turned to see a young boy who was curled up and huddled in a shop doorway. Bonnie and her ma ran across the street. "Let's go see if we can help," said Henry. Bonnie's brother was scared, but safe. He cried quietly while we all talked at once. "Are you okay, you poor boy?" The boy said, "The twister came so fast I couldn't get home." "You were lucky," said his ma. "But I don't know what we'll do now. Our house has been destroyed." "You must come home with us," Pa said. "Oh no," said Bonnie's ma. "We don't want to be a bother to anyone." "We have lots of space," said Pa. "Neighbors help neighbors, and we're happy for you to stay with us." I was happy about the idea too. I knew that Bonnie and I would become great friends. Stop and check. How did Loretta and her family help Bonnie?